Almost 50% of Australians take some kind of daily dietary supplement, and the industry is booming. But there are growing concerns that people might be inadvertently poisoning themselves by taking too many or taking the wrong ones.
In a recent case documented in the Medical Journal of Australia, a 40-year-old man was suffering rapid, uncontrollable twitching, and he was found to have dangerously high levels of vitamin B6 because of the supplements he was taking. Dr. Joanna Harnett is a senior lecturer in complementary medicines at the University of Sydney, and she joins us now. Good morning to you, Dr. Harnett. Thank you so much for coming into the studio to speak to us about this.
Good morning.
Vitamins made the headlines this week because of this case that we just alluded to in the introduction there. 40-year-old man, he enjoyed going to the gym. He thought he was turning up to the neurologist with some neurological disorder, but it in fact turned out that he had too much B6 in his system. Can you tell me just a little bit about that and B6?
Yeah, so B6 is an essential nutrient. We need it, we obtain it from our diet, but it's well known throughout the world through numerous case studies that it can have what we call neurotoxicity or cause damage to the peripheral nerves and our extremities. So it's not a new case, it is something that has been known for some time.
Known by the medical sector, but perhaps maybe not known by these 1 in 2 Australians, which is the stat who take vitamins?
Correct, yeah. So there have been recent moves to reduce the amount of vitamin B6 that is permissible to include in vitamin and mineral supplements as a way of reducing that risk. But yeah, as you say, I think a lot of the Australian public think that because it's natural, it is safe, but as with any medicines, there are always a safety threshold.
Yeah, well, let's talk about some of that. You've written 2 research papers into this very subject. I mean, what are the vitamins to look out for that are perhaps causing problems? And in what quantities are people taking these where they do turn out to create toxicities?
Yeah, so, vitamin B6 is a very good example. Another example is where people take iron where it is not necessary. So iron's a double-edged sword, really need it, very, very important for many functions in the human body. But when it's taken in excess, it can be toxic. So I guess the take-home message is have your iron checked to see if there's actually an indication for supplementation. Yeah.
Zinc, that's another one?
Zinc is another interesting one, double-edged sword, really important for immune function, but taken in higher supplemental doses for longer periods of time can actually inadvertently affect how the immune systems function.
So plenty of people are taking, let's say, magnesium for sleep. If you just chat around your workplace, what do you take? Some people might not take any. Some people might take them in very safe doses as well, but others who are taking more than they should, multivitamins. I mean, are vitamins essentially safe to take when taken in the correct quantities?
Look, generally speaking, yes, but there needs to be an individualised approach. So people with certain conditions, taking certain medications, and specific populations and stages of life, so children, adults and the elderly, the doses may vary.
And is there any evidence to support that they work?
I think, the question of do they work is a very broad question. It is a broad question, and again, it's an individualised situation, and there are certainly medical indications where it's necessary for people to be supplemented with specific vitamins and minerals.
So it's a $2 billion almost industry. I know that you're a member of the TGA advisory for complementary medicines, but do you think that there needs to be more oversight in this industry?
Australia has probably got one of the better regulatory systems around the world, and we're looked to for that regulation. It's a very light touch approach in terms of how they're regulated because they are generally considered low risk. But in terms of my own personal opinions around labelling and consumer medicine information, we can do better.
Okay, so just the final comment being safe to take in the context that you're advised to take them in.
Yes.
But should we perhaps just be eating more fruit and veg?
We should 100% be eating more fruit and veg, and don't get me started on that. The Australian Institute of Health and Welfare's latest dietary report is rather concerning. So I suggest people go down the trolley and think about what they're putting in their trolley rather than perhaps what they're taking from a bottle.
Okay, Dr. Joanna Harnett, great to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you.